Hello, everybody. Just wanted to check with you guys how did Recover do today? Yeah, you can talk. Please talk.
It went well, I think.
Okay, so did you guys do the passage or just the rules today, or both? Both. Okay. Is it helping you guys? Because as I said, this English is our strongest suit. We have done really well, and I would like to continue the tradition. So if you guys feel, and there's no point being shy about it. If you guys have concern, I would like to know that. Okay, I would rather know now so we can fix it than to find out in October or November. It's too late. Any comments? Final comments? Thoughts? All right. Next, if you've done the homework, raise your hands or do the thumbs up, please. Okay. Well, everybody has done. So hopefully you're not lying to me. Okay. Uh, Today we're gonna go back to science. So science, math, back to science. All right, let's go. Open page 808 of the blue book. So a couple of weeks back we did science strategies, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about it today. But we're gonna get to the passages. So I'm going to remind you guys, once you select the first two passages, you go to those two passages. During the test, you cannot have calculator on the desk. You'll be disqualified. Then, do not read the passage until you're asked to or you're forced to. At that time, you can scan the passage. Directly go to the question number 1 of the passage. There is no reason for you to start reading the passage because yeah, there will be times where you'll have to go and refer the passage. I understand that, but many of the times you don't need to. Next, there are two key words to remember in science, which people make mistakes on. They don't read the question correctly and completely because they read half or three quarters of the statement and then they assume the remaining. Oh, this is what it is, and then they don't read it completely. The first two passages should take the least amount of time because those are the easy ones based on the strategies we have worked on. And you would need those extra time for the last two passages. So, what two passages did we select in this test? We wrote it on the top, right? I remember that. Which ones did you write? 5 and 7. Let's go to passage 5 and 7. That's page 814, I believe. Now, I'm going to remind you, unlike this book, in the real test you get 6 passages. This has 7 passages. So this is good practice, by the way. So it can be either 5 questions, 6 questions, 7, usually 6 and 7. When they say according to figure 1, the answer is in figure 1. Nowhere else. Okay? Don't overthink. Don't overthink into a question. Next, if you get hung up on a question, circle it and move on. Don't waste time on a question and which will frustrate you. There was a big discussion in the other group today about what's called a prior knowledge. So they got a test where two of the questions they needed to have a prior knowledge in biology. That is very rare to happen where you're expected to know your biology or chemistry or physics. If that happens to you, please note that you want to make your best attempt at getting even that question right. And I will tell you why. So that will come to the grading aspect of ACT. So when ACT, this is what ACTs they say. According to them, doesn't matter whether you take an October test or a December test, doesn't matter. They believe that your score will be the same, which I don't agree with them, by the way. The reason being is they use a process called equate, and this is the same thing SAT does as well. So for a question that is very easy and you make a mistake, you're gonna not only lose that point, but you're gonna lose more points because the difficulty level was less, called negative fudge factor. On the opposite, if you get a question correct on a difficult question, you're gonna add the add points called positive fudge factor. And you will not know, or no one will know for each question what was the fudge factor is. You with me on this? What you get is a score. Is that clear for you guys? First question in a science passage is usually the easiest, and as you go away from it, it gets to become difficult. Usually the first question is the easiest. Not always, but usually. Today onwards, you'll be doing 2 passages at a time. Passage 5 and 7 you said, right? Now remember, you want to do it as quickly as possible. Of course, not too quickly and make silly mistakes. So what's going to happen is, I'm going to start the timer. You're going to do passage 5 and 7. Once you're done, either raise your hands or, if you're online, tell me your name so that I can just show you the time so you know how much time you took. Sounds good? What I'll be doing is after every 2 passages, we'll grade it and we'll discuss it. Are you guys ready? So it's your book. You can write in it passage 5 and 7, 2 passage. Your time starts now.
Elijah.
I just want to make sure that you guys need to do passage 5 and 7, okay? Just making sure.
Nisha. Isabel. Kira. Anyone? Jack.
All right, I'm gonna stop you guys at 9 minutes or so. So remember, you're supposed to take around 52.5 seconds per question, but not for the first two passages, because those should go much faster than that one. Okay. I'm gonna read out the question answers from 23 to 27. Check your answers. 23 to 27. BFB HC. Passage 7. (34 to 40). HAJ. AGD. G. First question. Did anybody get all correct? One. Anybody online? Okay. One wrong. 1, 2,
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Anybody have any questions for me?
Yes. Can we go over number? Where is it? I'm sorry. Number 26.
All right. Suppose that a strong storm stirred up the water in which a sea anemone was living. The sea anemone's response would most likely be. Okay. What was your answer, Elijah?
I said H.
That's what I have.
Oh, and I must have misheard you. Sorry.
26 is H. Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other questions? What are the next two passages did we select? 5, 7, then what? Huh? 2, 3. Let's go to passage 2 and 3. Your time starts now. Passage 2 and 3.
Elijah.
Isabel.
Kira.
Jack. Neelan.
Nisha.
Looks like almost all are done. So, oops. Looks like almost all are done. So we're gonna keep it moving then. One difference I can tell you right now between this group and the other group, they were asking a lot of questions for science as well. Same with math. So I can't force you guys to ask questions, but remember you're here to learn, not just to be here physically. So passage 2, 8 to 11. 8 to 11. GDJA. Passage, you guys did 2 and 3, right? 12 to 16. JDF. CG. Did anybody get all correct? 1, 2, 3. 1 wrong. 1, 2. Okay. Questions?
I had a question on number 12. Sorry, for passage.
Yeah. I've seen this question actually. People get this wrong. And this is one passage. That's why you have to ask questions, because this can lead to other things I can share. And I've told this many, many times. Based on information in the passage and in table 1, that and was a key here. And herbivore is. So usually you don't see that as a first question where they ask based on the entire passage. But as I said, many times it's easy. Sometimes they're not. This is not difficult. It just needs a little bit more information. Based on information on passage 1 and in table 1. So let's go back to this one. All right. In table 1, look at carnivores. Carnivore eats herbivores. So they're the prey there. Now in passage 3, first paragraph, maybe in like third or fourth line, it says, some biologists contend that the herbivores or plant eaters are predators. So that's where they said passage and table 1. I don't know who asked that question. Was it Nisha?
Yeah, it was me.
So did you see the table and the passage?
Yeah, I looked at that, but then I put F for some reason because I don't think I read the thing right, because I got the part where it said
Yeah, that's the most
the predator.
Yeah, that's the most common wrong answers, and that's why they gave F there as a predator, because that's what you're going to see as a third line. But the key word was passage and table 1. Now you know. Remember, I always tell tables are dangerous. This is how they hide information in tables. You with me on this? This is in. How many got question number 12 wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4. So remember, you guys, that's why it's asking questions really helps others too. I'm glad, Nisha, you volunteered that question, because no point just going with the motion here, okay? Anything else? All right, what's the next two we decided? 5, 7, 2, 3.
6, 4, 1.
6, 4, 1. So let's do 6 and 4. Now remember, you're coming to the tail end. It usually takes more time. So 6 and 4. And remember, usually I've seen your score usually is decided by the last three passages, not the first three. If your first three passages are bad, then God say the queen and the king, okay? Then you're screwed basically. All right, your time starts now. 6 and 4 only.
Nisha.
Elijah.
Isabel.
Kira.
Jack. Elon.
All right, then we can stop at 8.5 minutes. Passage 6, question number 28 to 33. GDG DFB. Passage 4, 17 to 22. BJC GDH. Did anybody get all correct? 1, 2, 1 wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Questions?
$31.
All right. The results of soil type 3 in experiment 2 and part number 4 in experiment 1 were almost identical. So you're comparing now. This is most likely because, okay? So soil type 3 in experiment 2. Soil type 3, experiment 2. And part number 4 in experiment 1. This is most likely because almost identical. So who asked that question?
Kira.
Kira, what was your answer?
I put, well, I like marked off A and C, and then it was between B and D.
Okay.
But I ended up putting D.
That's what I have for 31. 31 is D.
Oh, I thought you said B. Sorry.
Because I had D as well. I was like, okay, maybe I got it wrong too. And that can happen, trust me. You guys I have good strategies to teach, but if you ask me to take a test, I may make more mistake because I'll be thinking 10 different things. So yeah, D is correct. So all right. Anything else? All right, so could you guys put like a sticky note or something that we will be going to passage 1? We need to go to passage 1. We are left with passage 1 still. So make sure some sort of indication so that we can discuss passage 1. Sounds good? All right, I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.